Good morning. We start with Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga. From the heart of the Savior of 100 deities of Tushita, on a peak of cloud resembling a clam of extremely white fresh curd, King of Dhamma, omniscient Losandrapa, please come here together with your sons. In the sky before me, on a lion throne, lotus and moon, my perfect pure Guru smiles with delight. Supreme field of merit for my mind of faith, please abide for 100 yons to spread the teachings. Your holy mind has the intelligence that understands the full extent of objects to be known. Your holy speech with its excellent explanations is an ear ornament for those of good fortune. Your holy body is radiantly beautiful with glory renowned. To you who are meaningful to see, hear, and remember, I prostrate. Pleasing drinking water, various flowers, fragrant incenses, lice, scented waters, and so forth. Oceans of cloud-like offerings, both actually arranged and mentally emanated, I offer to you the supreme field of merit. Whatever non-virtue of body, speech, and mind, especially those opposite to the three vows that I have collected from beginningless time, I confess each and every one with fervent regret from my heart. You strove for much learning and practice in this degenerate age, and made your freedoms and richnesses meaningful by abandoning the eight worldly concerns. Savior, we sincerely rejoice in your extensive deeds. Perfect pure holy gurus from the billowing clouds of wisdom and compassion in the sky of Dharmakaya, please let fall a rain of profound and extensive Dharma upon the receptacle of those to be subdued exactly as they need. May whatever virtue I have collected benefit the teachings and all transmigratory beings, and in particular may it cause the essence of perfect pure Losan Drapa's teachings to shine forever. Sajibuki Chujigmetok Tramarirablingshi Nidegempadi Sangejindu Mikte Ulwa Hidrokunamdak Shila Chuparshu. By the merits of having offered this mandala to Lama Tsongkhapa and his two sons, may I, my family members, and all sentient beings be able to meet, practice, and actualize the teachings of the victorious one Losandrapa, who had a morality of eminently pure way of life, was courageous in the extensive conduct of the sons of the victorious ones, and accomplished the yoga of two stages of supreme bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami. By the force of having fervently requested in this way, hollow beams of white light are emitted from the hearts of the perfect pure Father and Sons, and combining into one, enter my crown. White nectar, the color of milk, flows from the opening of tube of white light, cleansing all my sicknesses, spirit harms, negative karmas, obscurations, and their imprints without exception, My body becomes as pure and clear as crystal. Now we recite 5-line Miktsema 3 times together. Mikmetse wete chen chen resik, drime gempe wampo jampe liang, dupo malu jonze sawedak, kanchen gepe tsungen tsongkapa, losan drape shabla solwade. Mikmetse wete chen chen resik, drime gempe wampo jampe liang, Dupo malu jonze sawedak, kanchen gepe tsungen tsongkapa, losan drape shabla sowade. Migmet sewe terchen chen resik, drime gempe wampo jampe liang, dupo malu jonze sawedak, kanchen gepe tsungen tsongkapa, Losan drape shabla sovade. The prayer for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratyaka Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now, holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings. Through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable Venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss! Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in a glory for fortunate disciples.
Sangye Chodang Tsojun Chonum La Chancho Pardo Dan Kyapsun Che Dagi Chushi Kepan Dag Drolam Penshi Sangin Drupar Sho Sangye Chodang Tsojun Chonum La Chancho Pardo Dan Kyapsun Dagi Chushi Kepan Dagi Drolam Penshi Sangin Drupar Sho Sangye Chodong Tsojun Chonum La Chancho Pardo Dan Kyapsun Dagi Chushi Yebanda Dagi Rolam Pes Sanjin Drupara Sho Kangi Tuzini Zoni Tawa Tamje Pambishi Tambichun Denze Kodam Tela Chanzelo Shishin Kyongun Javi Lodru Kesan Navi Genju Lekshi Sutrabe Pejin Lami Zevi Tondu Tembe Tonden La Chanzel Namala Yekedan Lodo Nojik Tribon Dada Mi Yekedan Ro Kunji Janam Chisam Tamje Kedu Dagi Chuten To Good morning, everyone. Shobadile.
Shobadile.
Your daughter. Excellent. Welcome. Your mom is amazing. Very kind. Yes, it is. Very strong man. Very kind. Thank you so much. I think you're very lucky. Huh? Not those Pugu Pamanyam, yet Pugu Chimbuchasa, and Suzu Pamanyam, Kibu Chene, Rode on Tongra. One is you want show troubles, you want show troubles. That the
So whenever I see parents taking the children, or spending time with their parents, I feel I really rejoice their kind of opportunity.
Lagdun amang sedi yam sembujire dosra amang sedi da ngoni tani yam sembuchik. Sedela ya amachik 당연 가든에 챙근알 챙기용 이시기에서 안스 메시 디나노라야 아마직 마도 아마니 소야 싸우니는 만도스라 규펜주 요나 가리는 요요리 아니 수다지 trobodig나 아니 수냠도 창사 잡아나 가즈스 창사 잡아나 잡초거라 소스 사상도 소야도다 아 규펜주도 딘디여바나 소야도다 아마 생긴디 곧 개왕함이게 레다 물음지기 또 비친 주샤지 아니 고체들이야 찍마도 안디 요나 요르 메나 메데바치 자체 자다 말해도스라 틴자 아마 여비린라야 아마 여비린라야 아마 들라야 뭐 최고야 아마를 참부치 아마냐도 뒤졌다 수수 그 아미 내단 간르지야 봐야냐 수수 응원에 삼반 남다기 아마 들라야 부치 봐야나 아니 메시디 다 밑이 다 미약슈지 미카르스와다지 규다약 부세트 로카딘 삼시 치싱이 미지 차기도 하스라 대등 원리래샤스라
So I always feel that in this life we have only one mother, and we cannot have a second mother, whatever we do. For instance, we can buy many new things. If you have money, you can buy many things that you want, and we can make new friends, and we can also kind of marry a second person. However, the mother is the we can only have one mother that we have somehow connected to that particular mother through our karma and other forces. So therefore, I strongly feel that when you are together with your mother, it's really important to spend time with your parents, spend time with your mother, and take good care of your mother, because those who could do that, who spend time with their mother and who take care of mother, are, I consider, one of the kind of finest human beings.
nganzu phela chetang phama gengoti susun nangla nyagores ra ta phama gengo phami thila dengi gi pugdi karso ta chi tsawi gi pugula yak zo da yo mar da yin ya pugu ke cheshu ro de ra pugu cheshu di ani amitila degor ta manche degor isra susu ta puji imba na ani tsunama tik pumuji imba na magbatsule amitila degor is pamani chalde tadi kechembu shutse gorda dindi ge ji injiro asra ani dusta da tanga dusta da tani chi zambuli nangla ya ngonni gi mi samshi yonge mi loja chimbu 아니 미치 가서 다치 템부 부탁부 저쪽에 파말이야 쉬우 약부치 그래서 저쪽 야자 고추 고구 파말라 따도 미싱이 식다 요 말이스 얀 파말라 따도 맞아 독자르스라고 말듯으로 니치 소수치까지 독자르스라고 말이냐 지금 리기요 말했어. 나도 남아 산지 위치용은 때봐야나. 싸워니는 리메주지. 대전주 마음은 가서 들리고라 따라. 가서 람람 정거라. 람람 그나 짓다다. 아니 마시디 개침부 쇼지 송요레스. 그래서 냉가지로 왔다. 아니 송인도 다 가서 말다스라. 오늘 잔내기 남주 푸드 총댕이. 배 아니 어딘지 끼우듯이 송고다스라. 그걸 윤진지 얼마나 시행 말든지 시행 말았으라.
So in Tibet, it is in kind of established tradition that the senior most son or daughter will stay with their parents in their own home. When you get married, if you are the senior most daughter, then your husband will come to the family of the parent and stay with the parent. And then if you're the senior most son, then you'll kind of invite your wife to your own home and stay with your parents. And basically, that is to take good care of one's parents, to make sure that your parents are taken care by the senior most kind of son or daughter. So that's why they stay with their parents. Um, so, so I think there's a very important element behind this tradition uh, about the significance of taking good care of one's parents. And those who do that are really, they are really serving a very good purpose. So from the Buddhist point of view, um, taking good care of one's parents, particularly one's mother, is considered a very important kind of thing that we should do. For instance, those of you who are familiar with the Lamrim courses will understand that in Lamrim there is a particular topic called recognizing the kind of kindness of one's mother and so on and so forth. So in that, they really emphasize the importance of remembering, recognizing the kindness of one's mother. So therefore, it's really kind of crucial to recollect and recollect the kindness of one's parents and take good care of them.
배낭에 좀 하지 하거든. 근데 니마 딱봐 아마님 계시거라서라. 니마 딱봐 더 참참라 비기 타자기. 아미 타자 용마요. 그걸 로시 가봐 로조래 딘디 용거다. 디마도 아니 니마 딱봐 아마님 계시거라서라. 근데 상담인데 아마 될야 더 참아도 더 지워인지 말이나. 배낭 니 아마 로진바나. 니 아말라야 셴바 칸 고문다스라 니 잔 수치라야기 셴바 칸야 삼로 칸야 문다다 nga devu kiwina ta amad dik sasta amal goya dimado 칸야 문다다 kadina shogi tawa an devu imbe karchigis nga devu inslan amad dik sasta te amalo devu sin devu te amasing dindireda ta kenza nga du chinju konlaya 로 아미 코브나라 다 구이베리나야 아마디 가죽 sabzo치고 야끼니 첨부 마차 버드 아마라 예레와 셴바 칸요 말다 로 nganzu야 야부 찬노 야부 총나서 애니 치 부디 메시키부 총 테마도 아마라 예레와 칸요 말레스 딘지게 베 애니 해 메비 세와 칭인데 아마마도 수치야만 다스라 아마마도 수치게 담은 다스라 아마 딘디 용거만 셴바 수치야마다 베나 사상인 바야냐 추 야부진다 파 야부치를 파 야부 맞은 추 야부치면다 이거는 조사가라다 안수 데려다 소수 보고 인바야냐 아니 이거는 자다 아마디 지금다스라 Didi yamsimbo da ama singi ngone yamsimbo shojre do da.
So many of you know that I kind of call my mother every day and speak with her unless there is some kind of network issue from her side. I always call and speak with my mom, and um, the only thing that she needs is to hear that I am fine and doing well. And as soon as she knows that I'm doing well and fine, that's all she wants, and she do not have any other expectations from me. So I'm not saying that this is same for everyone, but in most cases, uh, when the mothers know that their son or their daughter is doing well, it will make them very happy. It will make them day and so on and so forth. And if we reflect back with our life, first we kind of did for the 9 months when when we were in mother's womb, they take very good care of their they're being very kind of conscious about their behavior, make sure that it does not hurt their child, and making sure that everything goes fine. And then right after we're born and till we become fully adult, they dedicate their entire effort for taking care of children and make sure that he or she uh, kind of grows up well. So this kind of pure love could be found only in mothers. We can't find this kind of pure love in others, even between kind of between husband and wife, or even between partners. It's really rare to see that kind of pure love. There is always some kind of condition which comes in between, and and so therefore, in this regard, the pure love is only seen in one's parents, and it's really that that is the reason uh, our parents are kind of special in many ways.
Doreta. The Lamram Jangin Jimanarota, on the Mancha dos Lamram, there's a rich the Lamrams Nahako Maris. The non sugar pigita, any mixigita, Tanyin Chagoras. Singing the Lamram Jangin Jimbana, Amadi Kadin Samatuvana, Amadi Tilnes Samaduna, Lamram the ship, Toby on the Sawanin Kiamandota. Sawanin Kia Maristra. Tindig Nengachimuch. Manzo San good Jamdru Dongor, the Sanji Jamdru Nanshinch. Good Jamdru Mevana, Toby on the Kanki Mevadi, not the killing one. Did the Chiquichigan related to us? My garden some big some shit mena. Then he number Sanji, Teguchim, Che Majorich. Kanji Nenga Shoji, Nenga Shoji Kedisha, Sra, and these tell them be so. The Kazingimang on the case Chonso, Ya Chimbucha Sadi, a young Suzo Tawachi later, Amala Tawachi or Kotawa Muntumbi Wangi, Tawa Muntumba Dindi Chawandi, and it on the Susukio, Tangadanga, Tawa Muntumba Chawandi, Magavelo Dindi Legordania, somewhere which Tambana, Kotawa Muntumba Tawa Muntumbare, Piggy, cutting. Tinich any chokchigla shajana digmadasra. Di chokchigla yushabadi and is rangin namjug mandang Gure mado. Kotawa mento cheni magawa chiadi. Tetsawanini kun digmewachi sungudasra.
Um, so if you study Lamrim text, the term Lamrim might be a technical jargon for some of you, but there's a very important text for Buddhist practice. So in order to deepen one's understanding about this text, and particularly to gain realization based on this text, remembering and recollecting the kindness of one's parents is really crucial. For instance, in order to cultivate realization of the Buddhist path, um, having a respect or reverence or going for refuge to the three jewels is mandatory. So similarly, without recollecting and remembering the kindness of one's parents, it is impossible to cultivate other realizations pertaining to Lamrim. So therefore, it is really important to kind of remember this. So in some previous sessions, we also discussed that when we kind of grow up, and then there might have sometimes develop some kind of differences between the child and the parents. Uh, and then because of that, we tend to somehow distance ourselves from our parents. So in such situation, it's really crucial to remember that regardless having differences in opinion, differences in our choices, and so on and so forth, we should never um, forget the kindness of our parents for nurturing us, for taking care of us. There could be differences in our opinions. There could be differences in our decisions and choices, and so on and so forth. And that should not really undermine the kindness of one's parents.
nganzo da pena zambling gi sokcha samalo mi yong sobati aman ki gorasra aman ki gor tede chikpa namasanji uchu nangla ya simjan tamjele zewi zewa ki chik song yorasra simjan tamjele zewi zewa di mal den yongo godasra mal den na tsendi ki matela ya ngonne ki samba ane sem dingi zewa lengin jimba na ta digi ane kewa ngama ki amala zewa di nangshin ji yong chogoresra tingba de dili kewa ngama dili ta kewa thongma mebagi ane chang mebagi ane mala ya zewa chi ta dili leba ina dini ta lamram kirikwa diris dinza ta nganzu du so deya ki ta minyu sumji digi di ane kewa kazus le warisra kewa thirin ya ane kerang ngi ki machi manyo wada nga kerang machi manyo wegi drupshe chik sawani ni yomarwas dus medik pet sen dig manaje nganzo penzu chik chila ya pet tindri ki le mebi ki ane tsewa kiya ki tiyoris da nilu jiyoris ra da sen dig madela tindri ki kali gyajay suzu chedu madela ya tsewa kiya maduna teni sumjan tamjila ya tsewa sayade misik wara dwasra o tindri ki chini kanjin dorduna ane rangi amad pe masiwa kechin bures kechin bu sam mashina mashire madu sam shivana shinduna kechin bures ra tenza aminyamda tuzu tanya tuzu rawa tiya kawa sambu shivures ra nima chik tuzu chik aminyamda kalasana amanyamda gemo gena kechin dera adi hajangi sonam chen bures ngan dini tongu tasra ra
So just like we all born from our mother, so similarly, all the noble qualities that we have really comes from our parents, particularly our mother. And not only that, all the noble qualities that we cultivate is highly also dependent upon um, our parents. For instance, um, in Buddhist practice, there is a kind of uh, the cultivation of loving kindness towards the entire sentient being has to start from loving one's parents. So first, we need to really recollect and remember the kindness of one's immediate parents, one's immediate mother, how they have kind of undergone all the hardship to nurture us, to raise us, and so on and so forth. So once you could do that, then you can apply the same logic to other sentient beings, because from Buddhist point of view, we talk about the countless lifetimes, and during these countless lifetimes, we have also kind of countless mothers who take equally good care of us, who has raised us, and so on and so forth. So in that way, um, everyone has been um, in one lifetime or another have been one's mother. So in that respect, we should try to cultivate loving kindness based on this uh, fact. Um, so 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 therefore, I think those who get the opportunity to spend time with one's parents, um, you know, have food with their parents. These are very rare and fortunate moments that we should be able to cherish. So unless we are not able to kind of fully recognize this the significance of this um, opportunity, we must try to cherish this and um, kind of recognize the fortune. Recognize the kind of significance of this moment.
저는 제일 삼바세디 먼저 소착 상말을 학든데 지금 민 로질이야 체 개체슈디 아니 제일 삼바들이 산지게 디송요를 문 야간 파비기 아니 케버즈 디송도 벽 간진빈 케바다 아니 남주 푸드 총댕이 빼는 정글로 정거 벌었어 소비 아니 용기 아니 제일 삼바디 치신도 개체슈디다 송구도 왔어 띵안줄라 공이진 자거레스
And the loving kindness is one of the most important quality that we should all have. Even Buddha himself has taught extensively about that. Not only that, many other great Indian scholars and later Tibetan masters, including Lama Tsongkhapa, has emphasized the importance of loving kindness.
가서는 디들에도 당한주 대와 동안면 대바 인자 딩한주 때 당한주 란신 인자 대와 용약이 차진 야슈드 세비 삼바들엔도스로 세비 삼바 가주 수 있게 두바나 디쪽이 간주 아니 대기 용거여레스더라 다 대기디 조디 서로와지래도다 대기 세디 대와 세디 서로와지래 마도 치기 아니 수진 공부직 자원이네 레몬도 하스라 난기 서로와지 난기 서로와 대와지 난기 서로 대와디 세비 삼바요나 소 대와 용야 콩초에 삼바요나 소 동아 용야디 배신 안주 삼다는 담배 용이 주투겠지 지나 딘디지레도 하스라
Um, so we all want happiness and do not want suffering. So this is a kind of a basic aspiration for everyone. And the happiness that we want is, of course, a state of mind. And we could achieve that happiness by cultivating love and compassion. When there is love in our heart, it will help us to cultivate other positive qualities. It will keep us mind calm and happy, and we experience that kind of serenity. However, when there is hatred in our heart, um, when hatred fills our mind, then there is no peace in our mind, and it will kind of somehow um, ensue other negative state of mind.
다들 다 제외 삼바기야기 탑 약슈디 그 제외 삼바기야기 탑시 매바 마인바 탑이여바 탑이 약슈디 년도 통야디 년도 통야디다 최신도다 탑이 약슈디 년도 따야드레스 되니 년 용야디야 아니 가서다 아니 연된 따야디 연된 따야디 미지기 미디기 연den기 찬 삼로지 땅토바나 메텔라 가위 삼바지 용그레스트라 미디기 깽고 촌 삼로지 땅바나 메텔라 마가블로지 용고다스라 가빌로 여바나 소데발 레그레 마가블로 여바나 소둥알 레그레스 티쿠 춘이라스라 딘지 삼로 땅체네 아니 소소라 데바고고연자 남주 디베지 체체네 깽 통와나 깽고 찬 삼로 마땅하지 아니 연den기 찬 삼당하지 미 간다지바네야 콜라 연den 하지 맹이지 콜라 레비차 맹이지 미 소차 수지 요 말이스 내루 캥에서 디타신 송라스라 디스 당한주 종달 최고의 조직 딩서레스라
So to cultivate loving kindness, we must try to see others as someone close to you. And in order to cultivate and develop that sense of affinity, we must kind of focus on the good qualities of others instead of focusing on the faults or the negative qualities. So the more we are able to focus the positive side, the positive quality of others, the more we will be able to cultivate affinity towards that person, and then we will be able to cultivate loving kindness based on this. Therefore, since we all want happiness and we all want a kind of calm state of mind, we must try to focus on the positive side of others so that it will bring us more peace of mind.
계직 다 견직 숙천보주 통바이나야 아니 디파 아니 로트 도야기 쳇 상당야지 라 안디야 쿠비 가서 다지 닐루다 파 자르치 닐루다 자르니 상당야지 송거라 들어 가스나 규비랑신 젠지레세 라 독자 칸다지 바이나야 군 규비랑신 젠지레스 라운디 다가랑 랑수 데데기 마레스 군 규르그레스 라운디 아니 독잔 통이 로디 슈크총 드레지 용사라서라 가서 군 규르그레 단다 딘데제데 제는 규르그레 삼비 삼로디어 바이나 데고 무연데서도 톰바직 삼로레 마도 디야 다가서 소소좀 고거 땅에 삼로지레마도 하스라
So in this regard, it is really crucial to try to focus more on the positive side and try to highlight the positive qualities. Then even if we see some fault in others, we must try to kind of try to minimize its impact by thinking that the faults or the shortcomings that others have is impermanent, and they are subject to change. So the more we are able to focus on the impermanent nature of the faults that they exhibit, it will somehow reduce our kind of dislike towards that person.
nyokta sama sogu yorata magawe lo ra i gyön tongwi lo digi da gyön tongwi lo digi 아니 펜수 제와 소야 아니 타그리 무차야 자산지 마이나 베 투보셰 규조디 규엔통이 로디 다가라라 왔다 규엔통이 로 바시기 지게르마도 젠 투보셰야기 아니 유진 거려 말았으라 다 디지털 상담하는 덴데 수수무진 나눠야 펜도여 대봐 아니 개와 치마 캐닝이 지마이나야 펜도여 대봐지 딘디지레도 왔으라
So the point is that the more we focus on the shortcomings and faults of others, the more we feel repel from that person, and then there is always it start to develop some kind of tension between you and that person, and this will somehow impact our relationship with others as well. So therefore, it is really crucial to first focus on realizing and focus on the positive, try to see the positive side, positive quality of others. And this kind of state of mind is not only beneficial for this life alone, but it will also have a lasting impact on the future as well.
그러다 미망제다 자산 냠도 되고리 자산 편수기 연된다 된 통바이나 참 참불자에게 유지 약수 되지 그러더라 아니 지 정보 kim지 편수 아니 지 초보 편수 용수 초보기 연된지 통투바나 거다 참불자야지 통불자야지 교인 통바이나 강가 떨셔야지 자산에는 터줘야지 파마 부르기는 터줘야지 디레도 디레왔더라
So all the human relationships are built on kind of respecting or rather appreciating others' good quality. So for instance, if you're a married couple, the more you're able to focus on the positive quality of others, then it will lead to a healthy and happy relationship. And if you our relationship with our neighbors, our relationship with our colleagues, it's all depend on how we kind of perceive others. If we focus more on the good quality of our neighbor or our colleagues, then we will be able to build a very healthy relationship with them. However, instead of doing that, if you focus more on their shortcomings, their faults, then it will lead to kind of creating issues with them and ultimately cutting ties with them also.
당연히 바 당원송 그 통대로디 견 통이 또지 사상카트로 여봐 견 대외 왕기 아니지 가서 다지 정번 편수 많지 마차게 여봐 견 통이 왕기 안변 야갑의 투버셔도 뜻이 등우여로 왔어 인자 견 통이 로디 랑기 샘나라야지 셴기 견 통이 로디 아니 나수단데 견 통이 로디 땅 원내기 또 소소라야 아니 다 두다 마스나 체독시디 아니 견 통이 로디 디레도스라 소소 마기와 송이 따 아니 쪼디 아니 셴기 견 통이 로디 셴기 견 따위 로디 어 디레스라 디레스
So therefore, kind of focusing on the fault and shortcoming of others is responsible for stealing our peace of mind. Even with our even the relationship between couples, relationship between our neighbors, and even relationship between the different countries at large, all of them if they focus more on the faults or other shortcomings of others, then it will lead to all larger issues.
아니 로종 세도디야 즉 세통부지 말레 파르도 아니 견 따야 디다 아니 가야디 신도는 계신보 라 소소 마가와 견전 진 견 따야라 소바 아니 즉 소소 로라 마바와 잠기 마가와 체데라 소바 아니 라미 마무질라 나가고문도 슬라우친 아니 즉 독자인 바도치 징메바치 드디아저라 저 견전 양타와 차기여서 말이스
So therefore, in our kind of, as part of our honor practice, it's really first crucial to minimize minimize searching others for others' shortcoming. And in many cases, we tend to say that we tend to judge others simply because we dislike others we don't like. We tend to say that the person is not good because I don't like him or I don't like her. And that is not a sufficient reason to kind of make them good or bad.
Taya tse tongbu leondi, lojong tse tongbu leondi, nilukshi, lojong tse tongbu leondi, ani kyan tongya digi, ani mixegi chik tsewa kiya la, ani pendo tindi yunguya sarwa, jasi chanchu samba solaya, ani kyan tongyu topgi, ani ninji shuk chir kiya la soba. Ani chik 다지나도 토모마이 추측지래 되네야. 배는 개위신이 된술로 소바. 개위신이 때문에 똑바기 온디. 아니 개위신이들이야 견 통모이기 또기 아니 대바 숙체를 줘야 된디. 된디 용거래서. 이면 당 안줄라 대용거 말다 견 통위 또기 아니 대바 로드야. 견 통위 또기 아니 닌지 라운드야. 닌지 갑둘라 니 쇼 sabzab chigoya neti ani kyon taya tere dosra show sabzab chigoya.
So if we are beginner on the path, so at the beginner's kind of level, it's really crucial to try to kind of reduce looking for others' fault. However, as we progresses on the path, as we progresses our practice, then sometimes seeing others' kind of bad qualities or seeing others' faults will in fact help us to reinforce our love and compassion towards that being, because the more we see shortcoming of others, the more stronger our compassion will be based on the shortcoming and fault that we see upon others. So similarly, when we try to kind of develop respect towards one's own spiritual mentor, so at the beginner's level, if we see shortcomings, if you find some kind of fault on your spiritual mentor, then it will somehow cause us to reduce our respect and reverence. But if we reached on the kind of more advanced level of the path, then in fact such things will help us to cultivate even more respect and reverence.
인자 연된다야 아니 지 대바장야 두소 ngazu mi samgam shedi soyagi ta tablum yakshi 라 ngazu mi samgam shedi go garda 두소 tablum yakshi 두소 resra.
So since we all want peace of mind, and focusing on the good qualities of others is one of the most effective methods to achieve that.
마도 지 가서다 둘로 직부 칼라약부 대사푸숨 쳐봐 다 간드면 간드지어봐야 아니 샘라 시대서야디 백갈 가보라서라 백갈 가보라 대마타도 배 샘라야 배 아니 시대 쫀투야디 가보라서라 가주스기 연된 통화 뒤쪽이 아니 샘라 시대 연구여바디 the seviyorezro kazusi bi nyam tabi simjenla ani sevi ki samba ki tubana shenla ya sevi samba kazusi ki tubana ani suzu semla ya tinanshin ki ani shiditun tugores.
So the more we are able to focus on the positive quality of others, the more kind of peace of mind we will kind of experience, and the more similarly, the more we kind of compassion and loving kindness we could cultivate towards other beings, it will also lead to achieve peace of mind.
tajida manzuda chugo danjire kyaranzoliya chodin shira che yumares na nganzu dojimba na ta gyawarmuchi sladi sam nangla ya shivuji kita ani tsachimbu yores ra 다 용고래 자원무치 군도는 다치 온로맹아 다치 넘버 산지비 추 nenga 체리치즈 용소바 디페나 다 겔롱고 dom바니 체네 잔주스메 dom바 상가 dom바 다 용소바 다 자원무치 군도는 쉬버라스라 딘자다 아니 자원무치데 셈 나로라 야페 쉬우지 짜치무치 차요레스 다 자원무치 군도 구출이야 평원데 자원무치 구주다 미 루진반자 kuzu nedandu jeondi kaduna samnalaya tiyorasra susu pagi gopa ningu ga shawada jawarmusi tengore tianji khasadi jim mardasra ngazu tengorda susu ningu ga go shawada jawarmusi tengore an jawarmusi kutse tembasho jawarmusi kutse rimbuyon sho sambi malam gyamni Никувайна ниц гячи гятам ба кива доасра. Тинди 켄zo yorta ro ani teba sengedi be ani kanji sosola shoji pendo yawajire doasra.
So similarly, if you could cultivate a kind of devotion towards one's master, it will also kind of help us to achieve peace of mind. For instance, those of you, some of you might be familiar that if you, we have received many teachings from His Holiness, and many, I also received my kind of precepts and vows from His Holiness. So therefore, whenever we reflect upon his life, and now since he's aging, and when we kind of think about that fact, and now he's more than 90 years of age, so every time before sleeping, when I kind of touch before I sleep, I always reflect and think about and pray about his long and healthy life, and that will also kind of triggers some stronger sense of purpose, or rather, if we could go to sleep by praying for his long life, then it will give me a very kind of sound sleep, and these are all caused by a kind of a devotion.
Ngalarwada yakshu jila nyengu galang go shawada kama nisum nga ni kudores tingala kevsan shiorda kunjorda nga kadinara nyengu bi nyesan dro nyengu go sha kama nisum jila jacha jata nga ni kudores tezangi dal lamsan jawarmuji tengorda khas jawarmuji katen chimbo shoch jawarmuji da shoji da message jegora dichire chindire ni that's nganzu samna diyor taro jawarmuji songje nan jaro manan jaro jawarmuji zambalin di tola ya jawarmuji she shu debana 난 잠블링이야. 잠블링이 게 잠블링 배 아니 시디가 싸워지. 라. 겨울 못 지더지. 잠블링 나와야 다 미치기 니지마도 매왔어. 다 딘디진 잠블링이 사제디 톨 여바 장고 잠블링이야. 캡상래도 다. 잠블링이 게래도 저. 띵간서 샘는 딘디저. 딘자 피기 닝고건 고샤바도 겨울 못 지고스 템버 쇼스 물론 디게스. 다 샘바 냠네 쇼주 간서 또비온데 kiyo marta di samtu gorsra shogi ya lama da tem kadinjing kusuntu go yonden samya jangolo mo tsunga wachim bo sozuptat ning da winza an di pe kusuntu go yonde an so ta du sin ya la di nimata wa chi gorsra sozul pe kiudosra konjo pe kiudos di kyanzu na wa ne chingba ngal ngal phemba na kyanzu phengro tara 인지민다 겨울무치 맨날 지그리 소수기 피기 지 대바샤사기 이지 제사기 ጸ빌라마 지어바나 다가란 디고르다 다가란 디고르스라
So, one thing I really find kind of good about myself is that I could sleep very fast within the 2 or 3 minutes as soon as I lay my head on the pillow. And in that short moment, I kind of use that moment to reflect the kindness of His Holiness and reflect, pray for His long life, and then I go to sleep. And this will help me to get a very sound and kind of a resting sleep, because whether His Holiness could give teaching or not, His mere presence on this world is enough. And there are only few kind of individuals of His personality. So therefore, if He live with us, His mere presence is in fact an ornament for this world, and His mere presence will contribute for the peace of world. So therefore, it is. I would always kind of remember this, recollect these things, and pray for His long life. And then the next, when I wake up, when I get up, and I again remember the good qualities of my spiritual mentors and pray for their long life, and I begin my day in this way. So this is kind of my daily practice, and it really helps me to find peace of mind. And then you could also apply this on life. It doesn't necessarily have to be His Holiness, but whoever is your root guru, reflect their good qualities. And if you start the day by praying for their long life, it will definitely help you to achieve peace of mind.
지금이 추주 고주와 가드 니샤바나야 kullamsa ni shodo warsa ni kaddu senanga langsha warsa kashi ni sevana ni tiga ba ni de gawajida tinga gawchi mesra ni ma ko ni tiga ni de dent de kurbo sore dola sama ken de yodo mada the gives kind mada tinga la kaya mesra the thing one is this ko langsha warta pena 추주 숨바 시와 langsha warta ya langsha ya lang 차주고 배치다 다들 대상이 되치겠으라 대상이 되라서 여러분 지금 라므름 진 체셔주디 찬장 유주날도 디베데 찬장 저거도 안 쇼기 추진이 있음 dinheiro 배야고도 배기 차지스 그저 딜이 키워지다 싸우니는 여서 말에 배기도 되치겠으라 가슴에 땅 랭이 되치겠어
So, so on the every day, when around probably 9 and 10 p.m., I go to bed, and then whenever I feel kind of sleepy, I immediately go to bed, and then whenever I kind of automatically wake up, even if it's around 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I immediately get up, and I don't want to, kind of continuously lay in the bed, even if I don't, feel sleepy. I don't like this because it feels it's some kind of a burden to just be in the bed, if you're not sleeping. So early morning, sometimes I would get up around 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning, and then I would kind of fresh up, make a tea, and then I would start reading text, or sometimes listening to the teachings of His Holiness. So particularly these days, I found the entire teaching of His Holiness, teaching on the middling stages of the path on YouTube. And then I would spend around 2 hours on a daily basis listening to these teachings. And I really enjoy listening to these teachings. And I think there are no greater things to do, and no better kind of happiness than following this routine.
추주 숨바 시와야란 차 되든 대식선을 추주 숨바 시와야란 차 소바나 미수지 요 말아서라 제가 차동야 망다자 차동죠 뭐 추동세도 요 말다 야 닝군 차선으로 아니 메드 삼반남다진 차망부마도 뉴그리 추동거다 그게 지겨르다 추주 숨바 시와 수지 요 말서서 가르치지라서라 비키워다 빼졌다 투그리 상로 땅 투그리 소스 가르 the round sugar, the showing our line, the round chishudira, showing our line is.
So if you get up around very early morning, and then I would usually make a tea, and that time I could fully enjoy my tea. Otherwise, during the daytime, if some others seeing me drinking tea, then they would go, "Oh, this drinking a lot of tea is not healthy. You should drink more water." This somehow. So, but in the early morning, I fully enjoyed the liberty of making tea, and I would like to enjoy that freedom in the early morning. And since there are no other distractions, I could only fully dedicate on reading as well.
Just joke. Even the shogi kunju shogi piki word, shogi piki word, shogi kazna, the chutu sumba shiva lantern, the sumba lantern, the yakshudra. Best time. Best time the 3 a.m. to 5 or 5:30. Best time that Kazana Yomata very quiet. Suchi been the chachi in a cake Yagomada. Yomat, thank you what that.
So that time is really quiet that you don't even feel distracted by the sounds of birds also. They are still sleeping.
Jumped in the chara, didn't pet the cousin Nanzuki one shing at the Hajang Shukshitavanza. Nanzupe one shing a bit chigdor the yellow tobag round was Tokyo Marara. One shing a suited to the result so we petty any chigdor at that. That's shocking out till a dish at a mandata. So that Suktoyaskio Marata Nagora any Mishi Hajang Yula Ian Diamare and Da so did Mishi the Nashik ton the Nazuda Terra or Diomaris Terra Tinza Yellow Tobadi Pig Sem Yellow Tobadi only Tanik bit touching the pig and the Peshak Tandal was some day to get the Shukchir dredge, Yungudasra, Yungorti.
So if you could get up early in the morning, and since there is the environment, since if the environment is really quiet, it will really help us to focus and make the time kind of more productive, because we tend to often get distracted by the five sensory organs. when we see something, we often get distracted, and when we hear something, we often get distracted. So therefore, seeing and hearing is these two are mostly responsible for our distractions. Other senses are less compared to these two. So they often distract us from focusing on the thing, on the activity that we are doing. So therefore, in the early morning, there are no objects of distraction. Since it's complete darkness, we can't hardly see anything. And then we don't, if there are no noise kind of, as well, then it will somehow, the environment itself will become conducive for focusing. And then if you could utilize that moment, it will make a kind of, it will become more productive.
Re da hakdun da number sanji wi chu nenga zo da tawa derwa zra 원시 ngai tone kan che to ya jima da tarwa chu yang ta ba ji chu ne dun tar to ba ji 원시 ngai tone kan che to ya yo mares ra 원시 ngai do shuk che ta ba na ani chen da nang gi chawala chaya jima do jamba kan yo mares ra da ke che shu di yilo di MB chu nilu la ya pa ani che ya di samta ya di that 개체시대로 하더라. 네 빼디 아니 자와 첨부 쇼지. 다와도 탐지 김이 공부디 디트부터 그러마도 원신가에 돈 간체 두고 말아라. 딘자 원신가야 자와 원신가디 자와는 주게디 용따야지. 존나 만주와지. 라 근데 간주 다베 아니 신내다 항동 드야 신라 송도 제비 땡이 드야 조디 디레도다. 이로 또버디 이런 주객체 숙침부 용액체 어디다 냉가레스로
So from Buddhist point of view, the most important practice is really to cultivate correct view, and correct view can't be cultivated by mere sense faculties. We really need to focus on the mental faculty to cultivate correct view. And if we focus too much on the sensorial level kind of experiences, it will only increase experiences pertaining to this life alone, and it does not have any kind of lasting impact for the future lives. So as a practitioner, since our primary objective is to attain liberation and complete enlightenment, so therefore we must focus more on the functionality of mental consciousness, and the whole purpose of cultivating concentration and wisdom and the union of calm abiding and special insight is really to reinforce, or rather improve, the focus of mental consciousness by minimizing the impact of sensorial consciousness.
인자 민고 대시 드스라 쇼경아와 랑거스라 쇼경아와 나와나 쇼경아와 텔라 추즈 좀바 시바 추즈 니데 제가 좀바 좀데 제가 시바 시데 제가 빠라라야 원싱알 레가 시라요 말스 원싱알 체제 시라요 수 통해 마다냐 케요 마다 아 메사마 니에데와라 아 계제 시에고는 시에서 케 메사마 니에데와라다 다사스 케요 마 나고로다 다 드디 다 일로 똑발다 고고 야부쇼 상당히 디레도 오늘 디레다 딘선 잠고는 zon가 버침비 남 기차 되면 메냐와 nenjolo 좀바 세디 기침부 임바디 야차자다마 딘디 nenga 투구여서레스
So getting up early in the morning will help us to kind of, has many kind of positive side to it, because when we get up early in the morning, there are not much to be done through our sensory faculties. Since it's complete darkness, there is no object for our eye and which will again help us to minimize distraction. And since there are no sound, no people around, there is also no room for gossiping and engaging in these frivolous activities. So therefore, getting early in the morning will help us to create a very conducive kind of environment to remain focused. So therefore, Lama Tsongkhapa himself stated that we must try to practice by getting up early in the morning. So this point really um, encapsulates or underscore the importance of kind of utilizing the uh, um, conducive environment.
Teni da di chagin chik di gonda chu khala gyakzi sayal soba. And duzu shogi gi pigi kam tangbu mebala nuguya sares. Ra kezi nyi sewa ina ya ani subu di nyopto jigo sawa chade yala soba. Gonda chu khala gyakzi san nye deba na tindi yunguya sares. An gonda shela chugi na nga sisi chila chu ani chik lizeto te tse kanji ani khala di yakbu shu sani ani nyeba na shogi nga wu subu yangbu chaya da du tsangma lo sanjom den digi ta song yoris ro duwi labja na lo la ya du tsangma lo yoris tara tingi shesha yu maris ro di yoris.
So probably the one reason why we could not get up early in the morning is due to eating heavy lunch, no, not lunch, dinner, having heavy dinner. So if we could have very heavy dinner and late dinner, then somehow it will make our body more kind of lethargic in the next morning, make us kind of difficult to get up. So therefore, if you could, have the dinner quite early, and then take a very light dinner, and then give some time for digestion, and then go to sleep. Then next morning, we feel more light, and these are all kind of certain practices which taught by Buddha in the Vinaya rules.
Ta mangda zay ta tiwa ji yana tiwa tangro chis ngi keji nyagu nyo wala cha son sira. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I think someone has a question online, asking if Yama is in some sense kind in having the hell realms as a sort of last resort in burning karma, or something to that effect.
So I think Yama as in lot of death, right? Okay. Interesting. Tivati dirishakila ngazo kanislaw tanda ngazo nyawa cheba ta tinji nyawa cheba yisu na tanga so tungi nya tel ten legi tiba thatu ge ra chisa ani tel ten ngazo tanda ngazo shinji chija lai chiyo maragila iti ani ngazo legi tiba ta chido ta nyawa ki tungi nya bata wa tinji insan ko kalawda kos chika sem sambo re se ore chamsi chin re se ro tinji ro chik sam ta na digri ves kalana ko yobal teni nga nyebi tunga nyam gyo nyebi tunga nyam pal teni legi tripa thatu gyo ra
Shinji chuji sayagi pe chi cheki dengan dongki dengan ro shena soji ki yosa marwas ra. 신주의 세대 가르에서나 레균제들에도다 신주의 세대 레균제들에서 레균제디 장부 장장 수치가 믹스해요 말했어. 저는 레게와치는 디 데브 동안 대원 연구를 저는 레메게와치는 디 데브 저는 메게와 연구를 디 미수체와나야. 디 뽕부 있는다 빵고 있는다 축부 있는다 가리 수체와나야. 직부치게 디 신주의는 딜라고 그랬어. 레균제 시고랬어.
So when we talk about the kind of concept, or when we talk about yama, that is, yama is not kind of particularly referring to a kind of a wrathful being who is responsible for creating or rather controlling the different realms, but rather yama is the personification of law of karma or law of cause and effect. And so just to kind of indicate that nobody could escape the law of cause and karma. So the law of cause and karma itself is kind of personified in the form of yama.
가서는 그 전부로 쇼지. 초진세 전부 쇼지. 간 술로 툭나. 술로 툭나 그 아니 녀바체 고서데 제 아니 녀바체 고서데 제도 더 전부로 쇼인자 거라 디찬이 고 아니 신지 추이스를 미소 신나사에 민로 따셔라. 간단 고마들 레균데 들엔도 왔으라. 레균데 들에스. 이제 레케랑기 레메기와 사원 디제부 아니 콜 레르 빠베 아니 데브 동안 용단 저레 하장기 도자 사원은 딘 데브 녀비 동안 용고거라스라 딘자 캐란 동하데 사사베 레드 사사만 다딘 데브 용고거다 용도거레스 딘 용도거다 녀와 개반 디 데브드 용니 안 조도거레스 이번에 디 민트는 사원은 민트는 기그레스 직 존에 딘 캐란 조도리니 안 데발 기도 덴돌 기도스 디 캐난 라리그레스 캐난 레체단 라리그레스 디수 강기 아니 캐난 다치 레치 동아치 용사스다 다 디그레스 데 수치요 말스 디 캐난 레체단 라리고레스.
Yes. So therefore, the law of karma, or rather the law of cause and effect, is kind of something that everybody should kind of follow, or nobody could in fact escape the law of cause and effect. For instance, if you created a negative karma, and unless and until you have kind of purified that karma, we are bound to experience bound to face its consequences. And so to indicate the kind of the strict what do you call it rule, or to indicate that no one could escape the law of cause and effect. If we create a positive karma, we will experience the positive result, and if we create a negative karma, we will experience the consequences. So to indicate that, the concept itself, the law of karma itself, is kind of presented in the form of yama.
Okay. Sir. Thank you. Deshagora. Fortunately, thank you so much.
Final Amrit prayer. From my two types of merits vast space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a grand length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all lives Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by my practice. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion, in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted boundless peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded path to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their sons, may all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and create conducive conditions for practicing the excellent paths, never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtues practices, may he always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. Thank you very much. So just a small or short announcement. So this Sunday we have a teaching again at 10:30, but next weekend and the week after there will be no Friday and Sunday teaching, and it will be again on 7th February, which is Friday. So this Sunday, yes, but then 2 weeks break and start again on 7th February. Thank you.